everybody, Dev Del Molino here, the synthesizer of opinions. It is extremely cold in my house today, but we have new music to talk about, and today we're doing a 65432 on the latest Miguel album, War and Leisure. 65432, I have 6 minutes to tell you guys 5 things to know about this album and or this artist. I'm going to tell you my 4 favorite tracks off of this project, 3 adjectives to describe this project, and finally we'll be left with 2 options. Is this album hot or not? So without further ado, let's go ahead and count down on this new Miguel album. By the way, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I don't always do 5 facts or keep track of the facts. I just kind of say them until it sounds like I've said enough, and then I can move on to the next thing. 5 facts. Miguel Pimentel is from San Pedro de los Angeles de California, and he has been a pretty consistent member and a force in the R&B, the hip-hop, and pop communities ever since he rose to prominence back in like 2010. Well, now we're back with this War and Leisure album, and a really interesting interview that he did with Paper Magazine kind of details a bit into the creative process and just kind of the concepts going into the creative process of this project. So I would just say, for people who have yet to actually listen to the album in its entirety, definitely take a moment to think about contrast on this album, from the title, from song to song, from a set of lyrics on a song to the instrumental that those lyrics overlay. Contrast is kind of the device that Miguel seems to work with the most on this album to give this thing some taste and some texture. And this interview that he did with Paper Mag is pretty cool. I'll have to link it down in the description because they like sort of reimagined some of Salvador Dali's artwork with Miguel posing as Salvador Dali. Now, time to declare my 4 favorite tracks off of this album, and there are a pretty good handful of great tracks on this album, but I would have to say at number 4 would have to be the very summery Pineapple Skies. And then at number 3, I would have to say that Come Through and Chill definitely makes this list, the song that features a guest verse by J. Cole. First off, a fun fact here, this instrumental borrows, I think it's some drums, definitely at least some small pieces of an old instrumental by J Dilla. It's called Crushin'. Now, this is a really nice callback to when they did the track All I Want Is You for the All I Want Is You album by Miguel. And just like then, now they have a pretty solid chemistry together. They're coming together on a pretty hip-hoppy, boom-bappy beat. Pretty much one of a kind on this project. Number 2 on my list is the song Banana Clip. Killer instrumental and a slew of great metaphors and innuendos. Until we get to the part where he says he puts the D in defender, which is a little corny and a little expository for my taste. Now, my number 1 favorite track off of this entire War and Leisure album is the song City of Angels. Now, this song is cool, especially in reference to the concepts that Miguel stated that he was trying to execute amongst the process of this album. This instrumental is one of the most sobering, one of the most steady, most ballad-inducing on the record. And again, the lyrics play into this title a lot, War and Leisure. So basically what's happening is Miguel and his girlfriend or his wife or his woman or whatever live in LA, and there's a fictional war going on in LA while Miguel is off leisuring it up with some side piece floozy in Venice Beach. So, you know, he's out here creeping on the down low with this chick, and then his girlfriend's over in LA getting blown up. And then most of the song is just him like, man, I really messed that one up. So, yeah, kind of interesting. I mean, he definitely does a better job telling the story than I just did, but again, the instrumental sets up the stage pretty well here for the singing and the words. And Miguel comes on here and he's very entertaining to listen to as he goes on this almost Prince-like monologue at times. He really puts this whole thing together for a nice little experience in one song. And yeah, it's my number 1 favorite. Now, to describe this album, I would call it dependable. I would call it balanced, and I'm going to make up a word here, but it's got a nice shwang to it. One of the best things about Miguel is his level of consistency, and how well-groomed an artist he has been since he broke onto the scene. And with each release, he's been able to evolve, but still deliver something solid at the end of the day. And that's why I'm calling this a balanced and dependable project, because I came into it hoping that this was going to be as solid as his previous work. And I came out of this project getting to see him accomplish that on a pretty well-balanced front. Now, the reason I'm saying this album has got some shwang to it is the fact that Miguel, with each of these albums, has been able to push his sound into different places and evolve and grow as an artist. He is a consistently creative person, and I've enjoyed seeing that at every pit stop of his career. With Miguel's most recent project being Wild Heart, it was certainly a darker, grittier, more alternatively influenced detour on his path. But then War and Leisure is coming back with some really funky stuff. Now this thing definitely has its highs and lows, and that's kind of a creative staple of the project, but when Miguel decides to turn it up, man, he funks this thing up, and it makes for most of my favorite songs on the album. So, is it hot or is it not? It's hot. This is a good album. He always makes good albums. Yeah, I'm gonna keep saying this again and again, but Miguel is one of the most dependable R&B artists that we have in the genre right now. He's very versatile, he has a great voice, he has a knack for entertaining and making very fun music. He can also slow things down and be entertaining on the lower end. The only song I really don't care for is track number 11, Anointed. The melody is pretty flat, and the lyrics that make up the hook are kind of odd. Miguel is describing a really positive sexual relationship or experience, and he's saying like, oh, this makes me feel like a god. I feel anointed. Kind of creepy. A little too Dennis from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia for my taste, but yeah, good album. Boom! Those are my thoughts. I want to know what you guys are thinking. Do you have adjectives to describe this album? Do you have favorite tracks? Is it hot or is it not? If you have an opinion, please share that down in the comment section. I will reply. And that's going to be it for me. I have been Dev Del Molino. You have been so wonderful for watching. And remember, art without favor is like a windmill without wind. Dev Del Molino, out.